Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and these are my quick first impressions of the newly announced LG G4. So I got to go to the announcement in New York today, and at that event we got all the details and everything we need to know, and this is the phone. It looks a lot like the G Flex 2, and it's moved on from the thinner bezels and the design of last year's G3. But so first of all, the design has a slight curve to it. Yes, it doesn't flex, but yes, the display glass is actually slightly curved in a way that you'll notice. And the build materials are actually kind of interesting here as well. So holding it up, it's a pretty lightweight phone, you know, not too big, fits in the hand well with the curve, and it has metal sides, which are glossy, but do give you something to grip on. And then it has this plastic back with a diamond pattern. Not the best feeling material in the world, but there are some other options. So there's a ceramic backed version, which is white and glossy, and actually felt a bit heavier to me at the event. And then there is the leather backed versions that we see everywhere already. Different colors of leather get you different textures. I tried to get a look at basically all of them at the New York event, but I think the one I like the best is just the black leather. Pretty plain, but it has a pretty smooth finish too. The only weird part is, of course, that seam right up the middle, the stitched seam. It doesn't serve any functional purpose at all. It's just a hand-stitched looking seam right down the middle of the phone. Got to decide if you like that or not. Not sure if these leather-backed versions might cost extra, but I say that because if you took a look at the little notch on the side of the phone, this is one of those traits that makes this G4 a bit of a rare breed. It does still have a removable back, a removable 3000 milliamp hour battery, and expandable storage via a micro SD card slot. So this is becoming less and less common, and it might just be one of the last major flagships to have both of those things. Either way, with this battery you get wireless charging but no quick charging, so it will be easier to just pick up an extra battery and swap them. But during my testing, I'll have to figure out if this is exactly what you want to do. In the full review, we'll know exactly how good the battery life is. So anyway, the main new focus points of this phone are the display and the camera. The display is awesome. It's a 5.5-inch IPS quantum display, and without getting too technical here before the full review, basically it looks amazing. It's Quad HD again, it's super bright, visible outdoors, very colorful, very contrasty, and very, very sharp. In real world use, this is going to blow plenty of people's minds. Just from my first impressions, I'll go ahead and put this right up there in the top 5 displays on any smartphone right now. It was that good looking to me. And then the other focus is, like I said, is the new camera. LG spent a lot of time talking about all the features of this camera and how it can literally be a DSLR replacement. So they can talk the talk, but can this camera walk the walk? Well, a lot of the sample photos I looked at looked really good, but I mean, they always do. So I tried to take a few myself, and I gotta say, from the limited testing I've done, the photos did look really good. Very sharp and pretty good colors and dynamic range and everything. So I'm impressed so far with the G4's camera. The specs suggest it should be amazing, right? So wide open f1.8 maximum aperture, 16 megapixel, 1/2.6-inch sensor, 3-axis optical image stabilization, laser autofocus, and even a new sensor on the back called a color spectrum sensor, which, to put it simply, will help to better calculate white balance. So the laser autofocus was extremely fast for me, and it should be. So you got lasers determining how far the focus is, you got a new sensor to measure the white balance. This camera was really quick, and they've actually added a double tap to the volume down button on the back while your screen is off, which opens the camera app in under a second and snaps a picture. So now all this speed and everything is coming from, you know, these top-notch specs, a Snapdragon 808, not the 810, 3 gigabytes of RAM, and everything else on paper is loaded up as you would expect, so it should handle all these pixels better than the G3 did and perform really well. It's actually running Android 5.1 with LG's UX 4.0 on top, and you know what? I'm pretty excited to get to testing this phone. It's got a couple of new features I like. Go ahead and let me know what you want to see tested for the full review down in the comments section right below that like button, and I will get to testing. I already know I want to see the battery life. We want to see if the camera is as impressive as it claims to be. But then there's a bunch more questions that people have that I'll try to answer. So this is your chance to get that in, and we'll see how good this looks. Thanks for watching these first impressions, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.